Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is my review for Def Comedy Jam 25. And I enjoyed this anniversary special from beginning to end because I, for one, am a proud fan. I was a proud fan of Def Comedy Jam. And this is their 25th anniversary special, and it's on Netflix, and it's actually new, and I think they did the show, I think, on September 10th or September 11th of this year. But I am so excited because it brought back so many memories. I mean, even because Def Comedy Jam, first aired July 1st, 1992, and it ended January 1st, 1997. So for 5 seasons, Def Comedy Jam introduced us to some of the best urban comics that ever hit the face of this earth. And I remember seeing some of these comics in their early stages, and now a lot of them have now mainstream careers. Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Cheryl Underwood, Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish. I mean, they had so many of them. I remember seeing them on Def Comedy Jam, and now seeing them on these bigger, stages today. But Def Comedy Jam was groundbreaking. It was innovative, and it gave you raw comedy. You had, comics like Bill Cosby, you even had, Eddie Murphy, who was even raw with his comedy, Richard Pryor, but there was never like an actual mecca of just raw comedians until Def Comedy Jam. And to this day, pretty much the whole face of comedy has changed due to the introduction of Def Comedy Jam. And we have to thank, the creators of it, Stan Lathan and also Russell Simmons. I mean, Russell Simmons was the man of Def Jam, and he, and on top of it, he was smart enough to cast one of the best hosts of all time, and that is Brother Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence was like the host of that show, and Martin had me in tears probably every time I saw him, because Martin is just a comedian by nature, and he just had like this ability to connect with the audience. He would even roast audience members. I mean, he was fearless and just had fun being on stage. Like he was so fearless that he appeared one show in his underwear. Like, that just goes to show you the kind of person Martin Lawrence was. Like, and he was also groundbreaking as well because he actually introduced us to comedians like Tracy Morgan, Laura Hayes, so many, Melanie Camacho. I mean, he actually helped a lot of these comedians get into the mainstream, because Tracy Morgan, I remember when he first came out, he was hilarious, and I've been a big fan of Tracy Morgan from that point on. I remember Ari Spears. He had performed on Def Comedy Jam at the age of 16, imitating Snagglepuss and Michael Jackson. And as a matter of fact, Michael Jackson is probably one of the most imitated celebrities that they did on that show. And nobody did Michael Jackson the way Eddie Griffith did Michael Jackson smoking crack. Oh my God! Oh my goodness, like, the memories are just amazing. And I remember being a little kid at the time, around 9 years old, and my mom, we actually had a lot of VHS tapes. We would tape everything. I mean, we had like over 500 tapes, and we literally had a library of different VHS tapes, movies, TV shows, specials, whatever. And my mom, when it came to Def Comedy Jam, because my mother taped a lot of episodes, and she would always put these X's at the bottom of it because of the language, and the crude humor. And us being little children, we couldn't watch it. But me and my brother were very, conspicuous kids, so we would sneak and watch the stuff. And, we'd be cracking up, and, even at an early age, I was immediately drawn to Def Comedy Jam Even though, and of course, I was one of those kids that cussing just made me laugh. So the fact that they were cussing just made me crack up, and just the way that they cursed. I mean, it was different, you know. It wasn't like Trevor Noah even picked this up during the anniversary special. Like, he said that it wasn't shit, it was shit. It's different. And I was like, yeah, and it's like, it wasn't motherfucker, it was motherfucker. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Bernie Mac. You know what I'm saying? This was just, I enjoyed this anniversary special from beginning to end. It was great. And it was good seeing some of these comics that I remember seeing on Def Comedy Jam to being the big stars that they are today, like Cheryl Underwood, Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley, Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle was hilarious throughout this whole show, this anniversary special, especially when it came to the set that he did with D.L. Hughley. They were just off the cuff. They just decided to just do their own thing, and it was hilarious. They had everybody in the audience laughing. And they did it in a room full of people. I mean, there were so many different industry people there. Russell Simmons and Stan Lathan was there. Also, Bob Sumner, who was kind of like the talent scout. He was the one who actually found a lot of these comedians to get them to try out for the show. And and then you had it was just like amazing. Like, it was just a house full of people who had not only a respect for black comedy, but a respect for how much of an institution Def Comedy Jam, was, and it still is to this day, because a lot of the comedians who are big to this day performed on Def Comedy Jam. I mean, Cat Williams. Chris Rock, Chris Tucker, Adele Givens. Adele Givens holds the record as being the most, the artist that appeared the most on Def Comedy Jam. So she is the queen of Def Comedy Jam, and she's such a fucking lady even now. Because even when I saw the Queens of Comedy, definitely Adele Givens stood out for me because I loved her set. And she actually did a set, during this anniversary special, had everybody cracking up. Like, she was talking about how getting old, we old school now. It's 25 years. And she even made a joke like, there's times where, your knees give out and your teeth change. And then she said that sometimes you can just laugh and you may pee a little bit. You get a little bit of pee that you smell like R. Kelly's girlfriend. Oh my God, I was in stitches. But yeah, I used to sneak and watch these VHS tapes that my mother used to make. And, after a while, my mother figured out that me and my brother were watching them. And she would kind of give us that warning, like, if you say any of these jokes and I find out, I'm going to beat your ass. Like, my mother made it adamant, you better not repeat this at all. Because my mom was actually very open-minded and was, she even let us use profanity in the house, but we couldn't be disrespectful and we couldn't actually talk like that to other adults. Because some of our friends and stuff would come over and me and my brother be cursing up a storm and they be looking like, his mother's right there, she ain't doing nothing. I'm like, no, we can curse, but we couldn't be disrespectful. My mother gave us freedom of speech, which is what I'm about to get into about this whole YouTube thing. These advertisers who flagging videos. According to freedom of speech, I'm in my right to say what I want, and I'm in my right to say it however I want to. So it's kind of funny that now these advertisers are now flagging certain, YouTubers for expressing themselves. I mean, isn't that what this platform is for? And it's funny because it's the same thing with Def Comedy Jam. They kind of got the same hate that some of us YouTubers are getting. They were getting criticized. They were, they got a lot of hate mail. They got a whole bunch of crap, saying that we're exploiting the black community, which is a bunch of bullshit. We were just telling it like it is. And black culture, we curse all the time. everything is motherfucker this and motherfucker that, and that's when we in church. So cut it out. Stop tripping. It's a fucking word. Let it rip. Hi, Bennett. So yeah, but and if anything, I'm just thinking about my brother the Jedi. Shout out to him, because my brother the Jedi, he definitely tells it like it is, and I respect brothers like him who tell it like it is and are not afraid to say it. I, for one, embody that same spirit, not as much as he does, but I definitely embody that spirit, because it gets to the point where you just get tired of taking bullshit. You get tired of the injustices. You get tired of the stereotypes. You get tired of all the bullshit, and you're just ready to just speak out and say what you have to say. And Def Comedy Jam was that institution where these comics were able to do that, and they got a lot of backlash, but they kept going, because at the end of the day, it's about letting artists be who they are, and to give them the platform where they can actually flourish their creativity and mesmerize audiences. Because one thing I can say, audiences in Def Comedy Jam were an audience like no other. That audience will boo the fuck out of you if you came out there with some bullshit. They were, an audience that, that had their drinks underneath the seats, and they were an audience that will be running, giving each other high fives, will be whoop, 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 whoop. Like, they were an audience like no other. And if they erupted, you were good. Like the whole scene where Laura Hayes was talking about, her sister having a boyfriend that was abusive. She says her and her girls get in the car, they high-fiving and everything, and then all of a sudden they get to the house, they see that he's about to hit her sister, she flips off that wig like, oh, not tonight, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Classic. Just classic comedic genius. Like, oh my God. And also, when I think about Bernie Mac, one of the legends of comedy, God rest his soul, when he came out there, the first time me ever seeing Bernie Mac, just immediately comes out, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. If I pull my dick out, this whole room will be black. Kick ass. Oh my God, like so much great memories, come from Def Comedy Jam, because you really saw some of these comics at their earlier stages. Mike Epps even appeared on Def Comedy Jam. So many great artists, Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, Eddie Griffin, John Witherspoon. Even, Ice Cube even said, how I found out about Chris Tucker was from Def Comedy Jam, because Chris Tucker appeared, I think, like twice, and killed it every time. And Ice Cube was like, look, I would not have found the talent that I wanted for Friday if it wasn't for Def Comedy Jam. So he even paid homage to Def Comedy Jam. And and also, other acts like J.B. Smoove, Avion Crockett, Paul Mooney, Ricky Harris, God rest his soul, another great comedian. I loved Ricky Harris, and that's where I first knew of him, was on Def Comedy Jam. That brother, every time he came on Def Comedy Jam, he killed it. And he ended up becoming a host later on. But yes, Bill Bellamy, and, Flex Alexander. Flex was actually there with Shanice. It was good to see them, Black Love, all day, every day. And it was just amazing, just seeing all of this great blackness being celebrated. This great, platform of comedy being celebrated, because definitely Def Comedy Jam had an influence on my life, and it's something that I've never forgotten. I miss, seeing Martin being on stage, cutting up on the audience, sending shout outs to all the celebrities that were sitting in the box seats, and then, Russell Simmons coming out after every show, thanks for coming out, God bless you, good night. And then seeing all of the urban dancers getting down, break dancing, pop locking, doing what they do. This show was such a pillar of our community. And it definitely, not only, influenced, these creative geniuses to be who they are. They even influenced a man like me, coming from Washington D.C., growing up in Durham, North Carolina, that I can be whoever I want to be too. That because of my skin, that I'm royal, that I have riches, that I have greatness within inside of me, and I can create a platform where people can see what I do. So I am, honored, to review this because I am such a big fan of Def Comedy Jam. I mean, we were actually, after a while, once my mom, figured out that me and my brother Kyle were actually watching this show, she would actually watch it with us. But she will always let us know, you repeat any of this to your grandmother, because my grandmother's a minister. So, yeah, there's a lot that comes with that. But she's like, if you slip and say any of this to your grandmother or anybody, I'm gonna beat your ass. And she mostly directed that to me, because my brother was the good one. He was the one that was like very, my brother was very cool and collective. I was very rebellious and outspoken. Even still to this day, I've always been that person. So, my mother mainly directed that shit at me because she knew my ass was going to run my mouth. But yeah, I really enjoyed this anniversary special. It was so great. It was great seeing all of these great comics who are now multi-millionaires. Some of them big, some of them, quasi-millionaires that are now, coming back, paying homage to the place that gave them their start. Some of them were just, straight from the gutter. Some of them just straight from oblivion, but came on Def Comedy Jam and their whole lives changed. I mean, Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac been killing it for years, but no one will put him on mainstream television. When he got on Def Comedy Jam, 2 years after that, he was a megastar. Cheryl Underwood, first time she was on there, oh man, when she was talking about how much she loved dick and how much she loved the fuck, I was like blown away because this was a female being just as gritty, just as raw, and just as explicit as any man. So Cheryl Underwood, I definitely was an instant fan of, because she was like saying, "Oh, I love the fuck. You put a dick between a piece of bread, you got me." I was like, damn. I mean, I know this video gonna get flagged, but I don't care because this is for y'all. So I'm with it. But yes, this was just like a great celebratory, event. That celebrates black comedy. And, some of these great artists that we love to this day, all started there. Bill Bellamy, Joe Torre. Oh yeah, and Joe Torre actually became the host after Martin stepped down because, Martin's career started to take off. He started doing movies. Because even while he was still on the Martin Show, he was still also the host of Def Comedy Jam. But then once he started doing movies, he had to give up Def Comedy Jam. And, Joe Torre came and he was a killer at hosting as well. And he definitely had his own flair. Like, I like his little intro. Are you guys ready for the next comedian? Damn, is he funny? Like, where did he get that at? Like, that is just... That right there is just awesomeness, like just pure genius. And he just had his own flair. I mean, and then you got like, Melanie Camacho. She said after her first performance on Def Comedy Jam, Bob Sumner put her on the Def Comedy Tour. And then she started touring with, Cat Williams, Martin, and many others. So she says that, hey, Def Comedy Jam gave me a platform where I'm now one of the most toured artists out here. She making big money out there on the road. So and plus being on the road is where the comic can actually really test the waters with their craft and with their routines. It's like a place where they can just hone their craft. Being in front of the audience and always having that stage to just express yourself however you see fit. And you know, we also had other celebrities that were actually there who witnessed this. Nia Long was there, P. Diddy was there, and also one thing I want to point out, Tracy Morgan, because Tracy Morgan actually compared his relationship to Martin the way Diddy was with his artists. Like, he said that I was just an upcoming comic, and Martin said, you can come eat at my table. So he says that is like my OG. He the one who brought me onto the game, and I am who I am because Martin gave me that shot. But, you know, Diddy definitely got that. He definitely got it because he was like, yeah, you know, we actually got to pull each other up and give each other an opportunity to be better. If you see some greatness in someone, highlight it, because at the end of the day, we become greater by extending our arm and our platform to someone else. You know, what good are you if you have this great platform, but you ain't helping no one else make it? If you're not giving someone else an opportunity to shine. Because if they shine, you shine. Just saying. But also, Def Comedy Jam would not have been if it wasn't for the announcer and the DJ magnate and legend himself, Kid Capri. Like, I remember DJ Kid Capri. Like, Kid Capri was also just as much as Martin Lawrence was an instrumental part of Def Comedy Jam. I mean, you know, and pretty much Kid Capri announced all the acts. So if Kid Capri didn't announce you, your ass wasn't hitting that damn stage. Point blank, period. And another thing that they also did was that they also paid homage to some of the acts that have passed on. One was Amazing Grace, you know, a.k.a. Corin Hawkins. We definitely saw his comedic, you know, genius in Low Down Dirty Shame, where he played Wayman, and, you know, sadly he had passed away after doing that movie. But yeah, but Amazing Grace, you know, when he was in drag, Amazing Grace was hilarious. That whole set had me in tears because he was hilarious. Just, you know, just brutally honest with who he was. I mean, he was a black gay man. He did drag, and he just gave you great comedy. So, you know, rest in peace, Corin Hawkins, a.k.a. Amazing Grace. Definitely. And then they also brought up my brother, James Hanna. Now, I will pretty much say this right now. Jeff Foxworthy's, you know, skit on, you know, you gotta be a redneck, that came from James Hanna. Because James Hanna's was the original of the whole concept. But his was, instead of you gotta be a redneck, James Hanna's was, yo ass is ghetto. And he had, like, some great ones, like, you know, if you keep all your money and valuables in one of those purple clown bags, yo ass is ghetto. If you wearing a jogging suit and ain't jogging, yo ass is ghetto. If your 4-year-old can't talk but can do the Tootsie Roll, your ass is ghetto. If your mama's 16 and your grandmother's 32, your ass is ghetto. Like, he just had, and then it's like, and then he was like, and then, like, you know, he would have that, and then the way he would do it is like, you know, your ass is ghetto. Like, James Hanna was definitely, you know, instrumental. I mean, even Dion Cole credits James Hanna for helping him get it started into the game. And James Hanna was another one of the great comics from Chicago, along with Bernie Mac, Cheryl Underwood, Dion Cole, and many others who, you know, because Chicago was always that hotbed for talent, even to this day. But yeah, but rest in peace to him. They also paid homage to Ricky Harris. Ronaldo Ray, loved him in House Party 3. And I loved him in other movies that he performed in as well. I mean, you know, Ronaldo Ray was funny. Was just like that funny redhead guy that would just let your ass have it. Also, they paid homage to Patrice O'Neal, another great comedic genius. Charlie Burnett, definitely loved him in DC Cab. They paid homage to him as well. And they also paid homage to Rudy Ray Moore, you know, Dolomite. Also, Yvette Wilson. You know, Yvette Wilson also got her start on Def Comedy Jam and ended up becoming a regular on Moesha as well as the Parkers. You know, a great actress, and she's definitely missed. I mean, she was just a beautiful soul, and she was just funny, hilarious. And they also did a special tribute to Bernie Mac, and who better to do it than the kings of comedy that he stood with, D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, and Steve Harvey. And they talking about how Bernie was just different. You know, they were also in awe, you know, when Bernie would hit the stage, because you said that we will be sitting in the audience when Bernie does his set. We didn't want to miss nothing. You know, because you said that Bernie was the one that was different. They said that Bernie just had his own swag. He had his own flair. And they actually said that they actually praised him for that. So it was great that they not only paid homage to the comics to hit the stage, but are no longer with us, but then they and what they actually brought to the stage. And I was all here for that. But that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. You know, definitely check this out on Netflix. It's called Def Jam 25. You need to watch this, because if you are looking for something that is going to make you laugh, as well as something that's going to take you back in time when comedy was comedy, and Def Comedy Jam was the only place you could see the up-and-coming comics, because they weren't appearing on The Tonight Show, or they weren't appearing in movies, and we're getting some of these, you know, platforms that they're getting now. You know, at one point, the only way you could get real comedy was if you watched Def Comedy Jam. So it was great that this was a great anniversary special. I suggest all of you, if you don't got Netflix, you need to get Netflix to watch this, because it was really good. But that's what I have, y'all. So again, if you guys have any commentary or anything that you liked about the episode, well, not about the episode, but about the special, please put it down in the comments. I love to talk to you guys. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. As well, I started a GoFundMe, so please check that out. That will be in the description box as well. But like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I'd like to thank you guys for all the love and support that you've shown me. And definitely, I would like to thank Def Comedy Jam for inspiring a black man like myself, that I can be who I am, I can love who I am, and I can express who I am, in the hell with anybody who got a problem with it. So, until next time, everybody, take care.